Sophie?
Yeah.
What's your full name?
I'm Sophie Sleeman.
It's not too late. 2, 4, 6, 8, 7, 8. It's not too late. 2, 4, 6, 8. Save our planet. It's not too late. 2, 4, 6, 8.
Well, that was useful.
2, 4, 6, 8.
That's prime recycling.
It's not too late. 2, 4, 6, 8. Save our planet. It's not too late. 2, 4, 6, 8. Save our planet. It's not too late. 6, 8. Save our planet. It's not too late. 2, 4, 6, 8. Save our planet. It's not too late.
Hi, Sophie. You're one of the organisers.
Collective, yeah.
Just wait till the main march has moved on and then try and talk to you. Can you tell me first of all how old are you?
I'm 17.
And have you been organising all of the Fridays for Futures?
Well, to this one in Exeter, yes, along with a lot of other people.
Okay, so tell me about today's march. How many people have turned up, do you think?
We think around 1,000, but it's really hard to tell.
Have you been at any of the others?
Yeah, I've been at all of them. So we've been doing it since February.
Since February, and how many people do you think this one is the biggest?
Probably, yeah. I can't quite remember, to be honest.
Tell me why you're doing this, first of all.
We're doing it because we've been told for years and years and years that if we do our recycling, if we make these lifestyle changes, then it will be fine, the planet will be fine, and we're learning now that it's really not. The chance of us getting 1.5 degrees of warming is less than 1%. The chance of us getting 2 degrees of warming is hardly any greater than that, and we need change on a system level. We need to deconstruct the growth economy through implementations such as the Green New Deal. We need to change our education system. We need votes at 16, and we need the government to tell people how bad this really is. And we're here today to raise awareness that the planet is in a really bad state, our future is in a really bad state, and we need system change.
What school do you go to?
I go to Exeter College.
So you're missing school today?
Yeah, I missed one lesson.
What do you say to people who are on our Facebook group right now are saying get back to school?
I'm saying that I've done most of my exams. I revise all the other times. This is one day of school. It's a powerful symbolic message that our education is not working for us. That's why today we're striking for educational reform. We need climate change across the curriculum. We need the human effects of it told to us in their severity, and we need to learn the solutions that will work. We can't just recycle. We can't just put solar panels on the council. We need solar panels on every home. We need insulation in every house. We need just wide-ranging effects, and that's not happening in schools.
Okay, so you really want to change the school curriculum so that
Yes.
children are told what's happening?
Because it's really hard, because it's not even just the curriculum, it's the entire grading structure that is, if I get a good grade, that means that other people did badly. That's how the grade boundaries work, and it's literally teaching us to only think about ourselves and our own futures, when to fight climate change and to save the planet we need a wide-ranging collective effort, and that collective spirit is just not in the curriculum. There's no communication skills, there's no teamwork skills, it's all just about passing exams. And as well as putting climate change in the curriculum, we need that whole ideology just gone.
Okay, but you've had to do a lot of all of those skills to organise today.
Yeah,
So how many of you have organised this protest
probably
march?
about 20. We've got people from as young as 11 and 12 right up to university level, and it's really lovely to see the university students helping out the younger students, especially with stuff like GCSEs, which we can't escape, and we've learnt so much about just working together.
Can we go and look at what people have been doing? So while they've been here listening to speakers outside H&M in the city centre, they've been marking the floor. So just to tell people a bit about this.
We all lie down on the floor and drew around ourselves to imitate the crime scene and when bodies are drawn around, because if we don't do something about climate change, we are ultimately going to be in a situation where we're facing a crime scene. We've already seen in Mozambique storms just absolutely ravaging the country. We're going to have issues in our food security, we're going to have issues in our rising sea levels, and it's going to result in a large loss of human, plant and animal life, and that's why we've drawn around our bodies today.
So let's just have a look. People have been writing on the floor. This whole area just now was covered with hundreds of students, and while they were here, they've chalked their outlines on the floor. And some of them do, as you say, look like bodies. And they've written in them as well. Okay, so Do you feel as if you're having any effect?
I do feel like we're having an effect because the government have just declared a climate emergency, and that was the first demand of our movement. So it's good that they are listening to us. And my friends in London attended a cross-party meeting with Jeremy Corbyn, with Caroline Lucas, and with all of the heads of the political parties apart from Theresa May. And there are changes. Today we have just seen our Prime Minister resign, and that she has said that the next Prime Minister must make climate change their priority. And the works of us, the works of Extinction Rebellion, the works of these school strikes across the country and around other countries are forcing the politicians to change their policies because they must appeal to us as future voters. I mean, that's quite, a depressing way of looking at it, but I think the public, and with David Attenborough's documentary, the public impression of climate change is changing. So I do feel like we're having an effect, but there's still a lot more work to do.
Okay, nice to meet you, Sophie. Thank you very much for talking to me. So now what's happening now in Exeter?
The march that was just here is now going down Queen Street. They're going round roundabout, and they're going to finish in Berry Meadow Park for some music and for just everyone to get to know each other outside of the pressurisation of the school setting. So it will just dissolve away, then we'll be back here on June the 21st for a 5th Youth Strike for Climate.
Okay, and is part of the message today, are you trying to disrupt the traffic? Is that something you're trying to do, or you're trying not to? I mean,
we're trying to cause disruption to some extent. Obviously, we don't want to make people's lives particularly difficult, but the disruption that is likely caused here today is not on the same level that the disruption that will be caused if climate change gets completely out of hand, which at the moment is probably looking likely to do. I mean, could you imagine if the sea levels rose? Could you imagine if we could only grow half as much as food as we could now? That kind of disruption would be on a much larger scale than a few buses, cars kind of blocked for half an hour, if you know what I mean. So if it raises attention of the cause, we're not trying to get arrested. We're not going onto that level yet because we've got a lot of young children here. But yes, to some extent, I think we are trying to cause disruption.
Okay, thanks, Sophie. Bye-bye.
Thank you.